welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be working on our little guy I'm going to call Going Batty. And this is a fun, inexpensive little project that we've got for you. We're going to start out with the frames and the glass candle holder. And I'm going to do something a little bit different on this glass candle holder. I really like the look of going from the black to the white. So I'm going to paint the bottom with a multi-surface paint. I picked some up from Walmart, and because it's multi-surface, it can go on any type of surface, including glass. And so I'm going to do 2 coats of paint just right onto the bottom of this to give it that really neat kind of faded from black to white look. And I just, the new thing I'm doing this year, I just really like the look of it. I think it just adds so much to it. Okay, so now that we painted that, we're going to come over to our little frames. And our little frames, we decided to go ahead and carry a couple of those for you this year because I know sometimes you have a hard time finding them. So if you can't find them, just come on our website at miriamjoy.com, get them while we still got them. So I'm going to take the back part, I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to pull this little piece out. And I'm going to go over to my papers, and for this one I decided to use kind of an animal print, but you can use any Halloween colors. I'm using a blue, but you want your frames maybe orange or black or white, but why can't it be blue as well? And cut out a piece of paper the size of that little part, and we're also going to remove our plastic out of this frame. If you have a hard time pulling it out, take your little hobby knife and just cut that out as well. So I'm going to go ahead and glue with tacky glue my little piece of paper right onto the back of this. And we're going to set that right there. And just make sure it's lined up and that you can shut it and it's all tucked in. And you've got it nice and even, that none of the part is showing from the front, and shut that back up and you won't need to open them anymore. Now another one on this piece, we could go ahead and remove this guy because we're not going to stand him up. So I just simply broke that off. You could use a wire cutter if you wanted to and just remove the whole thing, whatever you wanted to do. We're just going to not be using that part, so however you see fit. So we've got that done. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some bling on the inside. This is another item you guys have been asking us to carry because I've been using so much. It's our adhesive trim, and we call it bling on a roll, I think, on our website. And just take your scissors and cut this in half. And what's really nice about this is it does have the adhesive, so I'm going to pull the back off. Now just be careful when you're pulling the paper from the bling part that you leave the adhesive side on. And sometimes getting that started is a little bit tricky. Sometimes it's really easy. Of course, when I'm filming, it's going to be a little bit tougher. And there we go. Sometimes moving that down and starting it instead of trying right at the top is easier. So I'm just going to pull some of this off the side. I think because of my candle holder, I'm going to kind of actually go backwards on this frame where this little part would kind of sit down in. Need to let that guy dry. So I'm going to start at the bottom of my frame, and I'm going up on the inside, and I know you probably won't be able to see it real well, and I'll show it to you when I get done here, just to give it that little bling. And I decided to go with just solid black this time, but my favorite is what I think we refer to as a diamond. It's kind of the shiny white or silver with the black around the outside. But I want it to go a little bit darker on this one. And then I'm going to cut it off right where we get to that last one. And just stick that right in. And you can see that now. And that just gives it that kind of bling look and feel to it. So the next thing I'm going to do is kind of rough up the edges of our frame. And you can still use the multiple surface paint. And I just have paint on my brush, and actually I didn't even load it again. And I'm just hitting the top parts of the frame. That's it. And we're just kind of making it look older. Not so bright and shiny. Making it look like it's been around 100 years instead of bought yesterday. And then I'm going to use my heat tool just to heat it up so we can continue working. And this has room that you even could go around the front with the bling too. I might go ahead and just do that and see if, so I think that will tone it down even a little bit more. Fun part again is getting these off. There we go. It's just going to help that black set down a little bit better. And when you're doing one like this, it's okay to cut it and then turn the row. So just stop where you've kind of got the last one there, and then lay that down again. Cut it. Yeah, I like that so much better. It gives it a rustic but elegant look. And the last one there. Okay, see how that really even helped that? I like the black just like that, so if you ever wanted to dry brush it on to a frame just to kind of give it a rustic feel, you know how to do that now. So I found these three little characters. They're kind of a skeleton city, like they have Christmas cities or something at the Dollar Tree this year. And I thought these were really cute and fun to work with, and I'm going to be using them for some other things. But what I'm going to kind of do is I'm going to glue that guy right on the very edge right there. And I know my frame isn't deep enough, so we're going to do a couple of other things to it as well. So we're going to build up underneath him with our moss now. And the moss always really gives it that kind of old, run-down feeling. So we're going to put the glue on that. And you might need to do a couple of layers with your glue. That's okay. Another layer down here and just build up on it. Now I really am glad I went with the blue. I really like the blue look now. You don't want so much moss that it's starting to take over, but I am going to do some more moss and blend it in with his feet. So we've kind of got him, and if you don't like some of that that's sticking out, just trim that away. And I did put a spider on him down at the bottom, And those are just the little inexpensive rings. Buy them 50 to a package. And I have orange, but I'm going to try and find a black. I'm not excited about the orange. And you just trim him off and glue him there. And then I'm also going to glue a bat, same thing, a ring cut off up at the very top, right there. I'll get the spider on in a minute when I locate him. So now that we've had our base over here and he's dry, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put just a tiny bit of glue in here and put some moss so that you don't see glue, you see more of the moss part. So we've got that, and then we'll go ahead and continue to fill him with the glue and put on our frame that way. But I'm going to go ahead and put on the bottom part first, and this is star garland I found on clearance. And always look for things when another season ending. Just because it's black, they was, I guess, doing the Christmas holidays because it was stars, but I thought how perfect for Halloween. So I cut the garland into about 6 different sections. I kept them pretty much the same length, probably a little bit over a foot, except for a couple I made just a tad bit longer, not too much, because I want them to come up around the sides like the bats are kind of flying. And I just twisted that right on to my base. And my base, I think I mentioned, you find at the Dollar Tree or any dollar store. They usually have the candle holders. They're a pretty well item that they have all the time. So now I'm going to take my star garland and I'm going to take a pencil and we're just going to start to wrap it around. One thing I try to do, especially with my ends, is make sure your ends with wire are really tucked around in good, especially with little children around. Be careful with little eyes. And just go ahead and do that. You want different lengths. Some you can wrap tighter, some you can wrap looser. If you wrapped it too tight, just pull it out a little bit. It's not a big deal. I want a little bit longer here. My pencil didn't want to go to that side. Finish them up over here. So I'm going to go ahead and finish wrapping it, and this I'm going to kind of wrap up around the side. So I'm going to meet you so you don't have to wait for me on the other side. Alright, I got all of these little guys curled, and I've got some coming up that we're going to attach bats to. I found my black spider ring. We're going to put him on the bottom here. Kind of give him that creepy feel. I'm going to do one other thing here, just because this is a different frame and it doesn't come down. I'm going to glue a popsicle stick on the back with my hot glue gun to help secure. And you want to kind of measure, make sure it won't stick out, how far down you need that, right in there. And that'll help support that a little bit more. Now I'm going to go ahead and paint him black real quick, just so that stick won't show up when you're looking at him from the back. Keep that nice and clean. And it really probably won't show up. We'll go ahead and do the front, but it probably will not show up in our frame holder as well. So I'm going to give that just a little bit of a minute to dry. I'm going to use my bat rings. I'm going to glue those on in a couple of spots on my garland. And what I liked about the star garland, if you didn't look kind of close and you see the bats, then you might think that the stars are bats as well. So that was one of the reasons I really liked using the star garland. I haven't seen any bat garland. Go ahead and glue those to the tips. I'm going to do 1 on one side and 3 on the other. I don't want to be perfect. So we've got him, and I think, I don't know if I want to do him lower or higher there. I think I'm going to do him lower. You could add more. You could use the orange one so they'd show up a little bit more. I just liked them a little part of that. So now what we're going to do, and I may have to switch my glue stick here, is we're going to go ahead and put the hot glue down into, just be really, really careful. This is hot glue and it is very, very hot. I found out today I burned the palm of my hand really good today. And I'm going to bring it across the sides where I'm going to set my frame. You could also just do it on the frame and just have that high enough that your frame is going to come down into that. And it's going to take this a while to set up because it's a lot of hot. Just do not touch it. And we're just going to set that down in there. I've got some bubbles coming out and I hear a little bit of a sizzle. And just hold that till that dries up. But that is how we do our little bat going batty. And I'm also going to put some more moss on the wax anywhere where it's coming out. And I don't think it shows in the front, but on the back I did go ahead and add some more moss right in there. But that's how we do our little batty frame holder for Halloween. Isn't that fun? Come on over and join us. We're doing lots more. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up and share it. Pass it along so other people can enjoy it and we can continue to grow. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube so that you can see the videos when they first come out. We've got a lot more Halloweens coming for you. Halloween videos coming for you. Thank you. God bless.